Hello everybody, welcome back to Go Big Bore or Go Home, where recoil is required. Why? Because we're the house of the rising gun. What we're here for today is the 450 SMC. Now you might say, what the heck is that? Long story short, it's kind of like a plus P version of the 45 Super. So I happen to have some good fortune again. My friends over at Healy, America's firearms provider, had an estate sale. They let me know they'd picked up some ammunition from Triton. This is, again, it's like 30 years old. So I got this in the same batch I got my 40 Super ammunition. But they developed it, and basically, as you can see, it looks just like a 45 ACP round, but it's harder, tougher brass, and it's thicker. And I'm gonna bring it close here so you guys can see something. It has a small pistol primer. This is to help with some of the pressures. Although I'd be honest in saying I'm pretty sure it's a small rifle primer. However, I picked these up, and these are 165 grain bullets, which is a little light for 45 ACP. But what's cool is while it has a claimed 1450 feet per second, I clocked these at 1590. These little things are smoking. So these are really cool. Now, I want to give everybody kind of a heads up, really, to shoot this cartridge. And if you do want to shoot it, Double Tap does make some ammunition, and I did pick up some ammunition from them. You do have to modify your 45 ACP to do so. Now, I'm not going to explain how I did it on mine because, number one, that's a responsibility I'm taking on myself, and I don't want to suggest something that might not work out for somebody else. Number two, as we all know, here on YouTube they have some pretty strict guidelines about not talking about modifying things. Just know that you need to research it. You need to probably talk to a gunsmith or an expert on this, and make sure you do it safely. But what we're going to do next, we're going to hit the steel. We're going to take a look at what a 45 ACP does, and then what the 450 SMC does, so you guys can see that big smack difference on the steel. Let's get to it. Okay, we're going to start with the 45 ACP. This is 230 grains at 910 feet per second, so a little on the spicy side. We're going to be shooting them out of a Springfield Armory 1911 loaded. So let's see how this does, and then we'll put the 450 SMC up against it. Okay, now we're going to do the 450 SMC, 165 grains at 1,590 feet per second. As Hootie Hoo would say, if you're a fan of his channel, it's got some boogie on it. We're going to be using a Springfield Armory range officer that's been modified to shoot this cartridge, so let's see what reaction we get from the steel. There's my spare magazine, there it is. Quite dramatic. So next up, I'm going to try and catch a bullet so we can see what they look like by shooting into some jugs of water. We're going to shoot the Triton 165 grain that's going 1590. And this jacketed hollow point from Double Tap that's 230 grains, and this is going 1135. So let's see what they do. 450 SMC, 165 grains, 1590. Okay, so we see a ton of energy transfer, and again, we just see pieces of lead like we saw when we did the 450 Super and we did like 155 grain bullet. Just, and it blew this open, but as you can see, that's what's left. Just little shards of bullet and water. Just, wow, look at this, it just peeled right open. So I will say, if you want to hit something that isn't like a heavy target, this isn't necessarily bad, because you're gonna do all that damage right up front and dump the energy. It just doesn't get a lot of penetration, unfortunately. All right, let's see what the 230 grain does. 450 SMC, 230 grain from Double Tap. So there's bottle number 1, bottle number 2. So you can see here, we did catch it. Mostly it's mangled. This is the core. As you can see, it's stripped right off. It's kind of neat that it came in part in 2 pieces. Definitely better penetration. We got 2 jugs instead of 1. And the bullet held together much better, but you can see that high velocity really, when it hits something, it does a lot of damage. It opens up. Very cool. Okay, so in the past I've done cinder blocks to see how hard hitting a caliber is, and I've had some people comment, and I think correctly, that it kind of gets old because it's like 1 cinder block and the bullet's done. So I thought we'd try ceramic tile. I got a bunch lined up. So I'm gonna hit it with the 450 SMC with the Double Tap 230 grain hollow point because it's the heaviest bullet I got. I think it has the best chance of cracking tile. Let's see what it does. 450 SMC, 230 grain Double Tap. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Not bad. Okay, so we're back out on the range today with the 450 SMC. We had to cut the day short due to a loss of light, unfortunately. I got Spam, my all-time favorite target. And of course, for a nice hearty meal, I got some chili with beans, which means after we have our chili with beans, might want to stay in an open area, preferably one with a lot of wind. You know, we're gonna open up these cans with some 230 grain bonded jacketed hollow points from Double Tap. This is going to be a fun one. I think it's going to hit these cans hard and open them up like they got hit by an atomic cartridge. At least I'm hoping for that reaction. So let's get to it. 450 SMC, 230 grain Double Taps. My first shot hit a little high, so I'm going to shoot the Spam cans again. Well, even without eating the chili, it doesn't smell too good after having met the 450 SMC. I'm running low on my Double Tap ammo, so I'm switching over to my Tritons, which is the 165 grains at 1590, which is tons of power. But since we had some heavy meats there, now let's lighten things up with a little salad. I got some lettuce, I've got some cherry tomatoes, I've got a bell pepper, and a couple of butternut squash. Those probably would need to be cooked. But hey, you know, it's vegetables, let's go with it. Okay, 450 SMC, salad time. 165 grain. Now personally I like carrots with my salad, but I couldn't find a good way to shoot carrots, so I got some carrot juice. Figured that's close enough. And we got to dress the salad, and I know everybody likes ranch, but not me. I prefer honey mustard. 165 grains. As promised in the past when I could only get the mini watermelons, this time I got full-size ones. Mostly. They could be a little bit bigger, but they are full-size seedless watermelons. I think Scott would be proud. Let's get our dessert on after that wonderful salad and Spam and chili. Again with the 450 SMC with the 155 grains. Let's do this. 450 SMC, 165 grain, watermelon. That was good. All right, well that was great, but it's time to clean up. So I got some seltzer water cans. We're gonna pop those and allow the high pressure to do some work. And then we're gonna put out 4 of these 1-gallon water bottles and really let those rip. So let's do this. 165 grains. Final cleanup. Thanks for joining us today, guys, as we took a look at what the 450 short Magnum cartridge can do. Like I said earlier, it's kind of like a 45 Super Plus P. It's a cool little round. If you're interested, most 45s are convertible to this round. Just consult a professional on that, and you can get ammunition from Double Tap. So, a lot of fun. As always, if you made it to the end of the video, I just want to say thanks for joining us, and I hope you enjoyed it. If you didn't enjoy it, I really appreciate you making it this far and giving us a chance. And as always, go big bore or go home.